Hi, I'm Congressman Jim Langevin. Thank you for joining the Congressional Youth Mentoring Caucus and the Bipartisan Disabilities Caucus for this important briefing. We know that mentoring programs are a crucial resource for young people, particularly those who are low income, academically at risk, or members of otherwise disadvantaged communities, including young people with disabilities. Mentorship puts kids on a path to success by promoting positive social and behavioral development. Disadvantaged young people who meet regularly with mentors are 52% less likely to skip class, 55% more likely to plan to go to college, and 130% more likely to hold a leadership position. These evidence-based programs level the playing field and help youth build foundations for success in adulthood. I know firsthand the importance of having a mentor. There are many people in my life that I consider mentors who stoked my interest in politics and taught me what it means to be a public servant. I'm lucky enough to count among my mentors former Mayor Joe Walsh and former Mayor Frank Flaherty, two brilliant mayors of my hometown of Warwick, Rhode Island. I'm also lucky to have Senator Claiborne Pell as a mentor, for whom I interned with and later joined as a colleague in government when I became Secretary of State. Working on the mayoral campaigns of Joe and Frank were my earliest forays into electoral politics. Both men encouraged my passion and served as valuable role models when I ran to be a delegate in the Rhode Island Constitutional Convention in 1986 and later campaigned to represent my hometown of Warwick in the State House. Senator Pell was the consummate statesman. He didn't care about who got credit. He only cared about serving his constituents and getting the job done. To this day, I model my approach to public service on the principles that I learned from him. Now, it's not an exaggeration to say that without these mentors, I would not be where I am today. But an unfortunate reality is that too many young people with disabilities are less likely than non-disabled youth to have good education and good workplace outcomes. In fact, people with disabilities attend post-secondary education at a significantly lower rate than people without disabilities, and the labor force participation rate for people with disabilities is less than half the rate for people without disabilities. So these are not encouraging statistics for disabled youth. But fortunately, mentorship can help young people with disabilities overcome many of these challenges. Through mentorship, youth with disabilities are more likely to display improved academic performance, higher college enrollment rates, and increased career awareness. Sadly, mentorship, though, is out of reach for many young people. Mentor estimates that 16 million youth in the United States are growing up without a mentor of any kind. Mentor has also found that most disadvantaged youth are less likely to connect with an informal mentor, and this includes young people with disabilities. Lack of demand is not the cause of the mentorship gap. In fact, the average mentorship program has 63 young people on its wait list. Clearly, more resources are necessary to ensure that equitable access to mentoring services are there. Thankfully, youth mentorship is one area that can boast bipartisan support in Congress. In April, I was proud to lead an appropriations letter with my good friend and colleague, Congressman Randy Feenstra, in support of youth mentoring grants at the Department of Justice. This grant program funds evidence-based mentoring services for at-risk and underserved youth so that they have the supports that they need to thrive academically, personally, and professionally. As the only mentoring specific item in the federal budget, strong congressional advocacy for this program is essential, and I was glad to see so many of my colleagues from both sides of the aisle join Representative Feenstra and me on our letter. So with help from Mentor, Partners for Youth with Disabilities, and their allied organizations, Congress can close the mentorship gap and expand the inclusive mentoring movement. So I want to say thank you again for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the briefing.